What the...
George and I came out here to shoot a rat that frightened Millicent earlier this afternoon. Of course, you may be shot by accident if you don't listen very carefully. I mean that.
What's the matter with you, Princey?
A very tragic thing occurred today. It'll be even more tragic if things can't be smoothed over.
Oh?
You heard me say, who'd kill Withers? You also heard Millicent make a comment, an unguarded comment.
Well, what of it?
Very little, unless you happen to hear that Withers met a very violent end earlier this afternoon. And that, my dear Smollet, is exactly what you're going to hear.
What? You've killed him?
Millicent.
Good heavens.
Precisely. You would have remembered and guessed.
Well, maybe. Yes, I suppose I would.
And so, my dear Smollet, you become somewhat of a problem.
Why did she kill him?
Oh, it's one of those disgusting things, rather pitiable as a matter of fact. She deluded herself into thinking that he was in love with her.
Oh, of course.
And then he told her about the Brangwyn Davis girl.
I see.
Now, I have no wish that she should be proved insane or a murderess. I could hardly live here after that, could I?
No, I suppose not.
On the other hand, you know about it.
Ah, I see. You're wondering if I can keep my mouth shut. But I promise.
I'm wondering if I could believe you.
No, but I mean, if I promised.
If things went smoothly, yes. But if there were any sort of suspicion, any questioning, you would be afraid of becoming an accessory.
Oh, I don't know.
I do. What are we going to do about it, Smollet?
I can't think of anything else. You'd never be such a fool as to do me in. I mean, you can't get rid of two corpses.
I regard it as a better risk than the other. Could be an accident. Or you and Withers might both disappear. There are possibilities in that.
Now, look here, you can't.
As a matter of fact, there is a way out. You suggested yourself.
Oh, did I? Well, what was it?
You said that you'd kill Withers. You had a motive.
I was joking.
You're always joking. People think there's something behind it. Now, look here, Smollet. I can't trust you, therefore you must trust me.
Go on.
There's a sewer there. We're going to put Withers' body into it. Now, remember, no outsider knows that he came here this afternoon. Nobody will ever dream of looking there for it unless you tell them. But you're going to give me evidence that you murdered Withers.
What? Why should I?
So that I may be dead sure that you'll never open your lips on the matter. If you don't, I shall shoot you now, this next minute. Now, you can choose between living or dying.
What evidence?
George, hit him hard in the face.
Oh, no. Here, now, wait. No.
Again, don't bruise your knuckles. I'm sorry, Smollet. There must be traces of a struggle between you and Withers. Then it will hardly be safe for you to go to the police.
Why won't you take my word?
I will when I've finished. George, pick up that crooked mallet. Use your handkerchief. Now grasp the handle firmly, Smollet. I'll shoot you if you don't.
Blast you.
Now, George, pull 2 hairs out of his head. Now attach them firmly round the buttons on Withers' coat sleeve. Now, Smollet, pick up that grating over there. Go on. Now, Withers' body's in there. Get hold of it by the boots, drag it through and dump it in the sewer.
I shan't touch him.
Stand back, George.
No. Now, wait a minute. Oh, no,
Put back the grading. Now, you see, my dear fellow, everything is perfectly safe. No one knows that Withers came here. Everyone thinks he went walking on Bass Hill. There's 5 miles of country to inspect. Nobody will ever think of looking for him in our sewer. So you see, don't you, how perfectly safe it is?
Oh, absolutely. I'm sure I shall never give it another thought.
Shall I call Mr. Princey, ma'am?
Oh, no. That is, he'll be here in a moment, Jane. Don't...
Oh, look, my dear, we went to the stable to shoot a rat and found Captain Smollet. Oh, now, don't be offended, old fellow.
Oh, do sit down, all of you, and have your tea. Millicent, come closer to me so that George can sit. Captain Smollet, do sit down.
You've bruised your lip.
You...
Oh.
I just knocked it.
Oh, too bad. How did you do it? Would you like me to have Jane bring you something for it?
Now, look here. I mean, please don't trouble. It's all right.
Very well, Jane. That's all.
Smollett's being very kind, my dear. He knows all about our trouble. We can rely upon him. We have his word.
Oh, have you, Captain Smollet? You are good.
He'll tell... I know he'll tell Father.
Listen, go to your room and stay there. I can't stand the sight of you anymore.
But, Father... I haven't had my tea yet.
Well, go without your blasted tea.
I think I'll go along now. It's stopped raining.
Oh, must you?
Now, look here, my dear fellow, there's nothing to worry about. They'll never find anything here. All we have to do from now on is to keep our heads, and our problems are solved.
Oh, Captain Smollet, you are a nobleman. A noble man.
Yes, all we have to do is to keep calm, perfectly calm. Just forget the whole thing. Why not stay and have another drink, Smollet, won't you?
No, thank you. No, I think I'll get along.
Oh, well, if you really must.
Good evening.
There are a few things that I have to go over with the three of you. Well,
I told her.
come and sit down, Millicent. And please sit quietly. And try and control your appetite until I have finished. I do not want to compete for your attention with a sandwich. Now listen to me. We can't be certain, of course, that our connection with the disappearance of Mr. Withers will never come to the attention of the police. We must be prepared for any such contingency. So, in case we are ever questioned in the matter, this is what has happened. George and I went down to the stables to shoot a rat. It was a nuisance in the rain, but Millicent insisted.
You know I'm not afraid of rats.
Well, you are now.
Now, we were surprised to find our friend, Captain Smollet, waiting in the stables. Now, you'll recall that the first time he was here was before Jane served tea, so she didn't know that he was here at that time.
That's right. She didn't see him.
Now, Smollet explained that he was in the stables because he ducked in to avoid a particularly heavy shower. So, naturally, we brought him to the house for tea. You understand?
Oh, yes, of course, dear.
Oh, I know they'll come. I know they will. They'll
Listen.
find him.
If you can't control yourself until I have finished, I shan't allow you to have any more tea.
I say, you certainly have taken care of things neatly. That's right, what?
Yes, he is thorough, isn't he?
He hasn't overlooked a thing.
You think so? It's fortunate we don't have to depend upon you for our security, I must say.
But I don't see how it could be any neater. I mean, Smollet will never tell himself, that's certain enough. But even if they do find the cadaver is discovered sometime...
If it is discovered, you see? Leaving things to chance, pure chance, the same sloppy approach that you've always had, George. Supposing Smollet were away when it were discovered. Supposing he had skipped the country.
Oh. Well, I don't think he'd do a thing like that.
Probably not. Not enough imagination, I dare say. But I don't intend to take a chance on any such thing. That is a careless, slovenly way of doing things with which I have no patience.
But, dear, what else can you do?
Now listen closely and remember. Just a moment ago, after Captain Smollet left, we went back to the stable to shoot the rat. We noticed that the cover to the sewer was somewhat ajar. And as you, George, lifted it into place, I glanced in and made a ghastly discovery. Now, is that perfectly clear?
Yes, but I don't understand.
Well, get me to the police station in Bastille, please, quickly. Hello, is that the police station? Oh, this is Mr. Princey of Abbott's Loxton. I'm afraid something rather terrible has happened. Will you send somebody up here at once, please? Well, I believe that should cover everything. I hope you'll let this be an example to you, my boy. It's a rare problem that won't yield to a little thought and patience. But we must be very careful never to leave any loose ends dangling. You see, that's the thing. A little tea, Mother, please.
I presume that story was intended to illustrate that blood is thicker than water. I always find it heartwarming to see a family standing shoulder to shoulder in the face of adversity. Unfortunately, the authorities were not thrilled by this sight and were seen tossing about such phrases as obstructing justice, accessory after the fact, murder in the first degree. Very nasty. The princes received substantial sentences. You see, unfortunately, Captain Smollet didn't play the game. When the police arrived, he insisted on his innocence, thus confusing poor Millicent to such an extent that she reenacted the crime with her father as the victim. Broke the croquet mallet, too. I believe I'll have another.